that's what I'm saying. Also, too, what does this have to do with? I mean, I understand the way he structured it, like transparency as far as seeking out documentation where you know to help out whoever in this situation. All right, man. Torture Talk After Hours. So, a whistleblower has entered the conversation of the lawsuit between Drake and UMG. This is going to be very interesting because usually a whistleblower plays both sides, one side. Well, it depends on what they're whistleblowing about. If they're gonna whistleblow towards UFG, which I'm thinking is most likely why the whistleblower is coming in to whistleblow against the industry. So we'll see what happens. Maybe this will play in Drake's favor. Who knows? But this comes courtesy of the Ville. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Let's get it going.
So we got a whistleblower. Apparently, there's a whistleblower that's trying to intervene in the UMG and Drake lawsuit. Now, this isn't technically a bad thing. It's technically not a good thing. It's actually a neutral thing that is occurring right now. So there's this man named Joe Cat, or that goes by the original name Joseph Reyna, who's actually notified the court as an amicus. And if you don't know what an amicus is, they're a friend of a court who actually intervenes in situations like this as a friend of the court. And essentially, an amicus or amicus curiae is a person or organization that is not a party to the case, but offers information, expertise, or insight that may help the court decide the case. Courts can choose whether or not to consider the amicus brief. So the court could decide if they want this person's help or not. Rather they want the insight that they have that could help the court. It's up to them if they want to let this whistleblower, in quotations, if they want the information that they have to help them out in this case.
Oh, okay. So basically they're neutral in this whole situation where it's they will make arguments for both sides, which is kind of weird but crazy in a way. I mean, who knows? I mean, some people do this. I believe this happened in this was in one of the Trump trials too. I believe that happened too. But yeah, this is somebody who wants to probably, I mean, his organization want to probably be, known for something, or maybe he's been in the industry for a little bit. It sounds like he's been in the industry for a little bit, and maybe he represents some people or something. But let's get it going.
Now, usually the purpose for an amicus is to provide context, broader implications, or technical legal arguments that the actual parties might not cover. Bringing information that might not be discussed or might not be covered by UMG or Drake, this person apparently has the information that they could bring to the courts that they may or may not discuss or cover in this lawsuit. So this guy, Joe Cat or Joseph Reyna, apparently has information that he wants to give to the courts. He wants to be a friend of the court. He wants to be able to give them a helping hand and let them know that there's some things that UMG or Drake might not cover in this lawsuit. Whatever it may be, it looks like he's actually tried to jump in and help the court in regards to all of this. Now, the introduction says right here, pursuant to the court's inherent authority and federal rule of appellate procedure 29, I respectfully submit the motion for leave to file an amicus curiae brief in support of neither party in the above captioned matter. Like I said, not trying to help UMG, not trying to help Drake. He's just trying to help the court. He says his name is Joseph Reyna, and I appear pro se as the founder of Dreams Over Dollars, a Texas-based public interest nonprofit. My work is focused on legal documentation of economic suppression, digital gatekeeping, and structural artist disenfranchisement in the music and platform economy. I believe this is some of the things that he talks about in his resume right here. Some of the people.
So basically, like I said, he has a company, and he's trying to make his name a little bit bigger. It sounds like he worked with a couple artists already. I mean, so let's keep going.
That he's worked with in the industry would be Black Smurf, Xavier Wolf, Ja Rule, Ashanti, King Loso, Flip, and Rocky Fresh. He's helped with ticket sales, managing nationwide tours, executing high-pack marketing campaigns. With data-driven marketing strategies, I've built viral reach across the US and Europe, generating significant impressions and engagement in top music hubs. Skilled in leveraging industry connections and audience insights to maximize impact, build loyalty, and expand market presence. So, based off of his resume right here, it seems like because he's involved in ticket sales, marketing, and all of these other things, right? I'm assuming that he always watches the numbers. From what it looks like this guy has his hand in the industry for whatever way or however how. That's how he's able to watch the numbers. I'm assuming that's how he's able to watch the data. Interest of Amicus Curiae. As a nonprofit founder, music professional, and documented whistleblower, I have spent the last decade submitting federal filings, FOIA requests, and economic loss documentation relating to systemic harm against independent artists, including whistleblower submissions to the IRS, SEC, FTC, FCC, DOJ, and multiple state attorney generals. And like I said, he's calling himself a whistleblower. A whistleblower is trying to get involved in this case. Apparently, they be watching the data because of their hand in the music industry. And it appears that they're trying to see if they could help the court. Who would have thought out of nowhere a whistleblower would have came to this case to try to help the court out? Now, when he says systemic harm against independent artists, and I
Yeah, so I mean, I want to see where this goes because if this guy known this case been going on for a while, let me try to take an educated guess of who he's gonna side with. I think that he's more gonna side, and I know he says he's neutral, but I think he's more gonna side with UMG on this. And the reason why I say that is because of the last Drake and his lawyers changing of everything. So that's what I think. I think that he's going to probably side with them on this. You know, that's what I believe. Get this thing up, man. Yeah.
take a look at his resume, I think independent artists might be Black Smurf, Xavier Wolf, and Little Flip, possibly. I'm not sure if Ja Rule, Ashanti, or King Los are assigned to anybody. I think King Los might be independent as well. So he might be looking at the numbers because of the people that he's marketed and sold tickets for. So it's possible because he has his hand in the music industry with independent artists, he sees the numbers and whatever he sees, I guess he wants to give some insight because of that. Because apparently he's already submitted some submissions to other entities before. It says here, my nonprofit mission is to restore transparency and economic equity within creative ecosystems, particularly where algorithmic suppression and platform linked financial incentives distort visibility and fairness. My direct experience with federal agency silence, documented retaliation, and evidence based structural analysis gives me a unique position to inform the court about broader systemic concerns, including those not directly addressed by the plaintiff or defendant, that are nonetheless highly relevant to the legal and public interest context of this case. Looks like I have
Nah, man. He don't sound like he's siding with UMG. He definitely sound like he's siding with Drake. Just off of him saying that artist suppression as far as the music industry goes, this definitely sounds like he is siding with Drake in this case. Um, Even though this he's just reading off his resume, I'm thinking that this whole thing, he's basically gonna side with Drake on this. That's how I feel now. Now that he goes further into his resume.
information, not trying to choose sides here, but because of my past experiences, I decided to help the court however way I can in regards to this scenario here. Reason to grant leave to file. The submitted brief does not duplicate any party argument. Rather, it presents evidentiary, historical, and structural documentation critical to understanding the systemic context in which this litigation now resides. This includes whistleblower filing under 26 USC, FOIA, which is Freedom of Information Act, responses and denials across multiple federal entities, public record evidence and algorithmic payola, metadata suppression and suppressed royalties, historical continuity between contemporary suppression and legacy artist exploitation. Now, what's interesting about this part is when he says whistleblower filing under 26 USC, because looking that up here, whistleblowing under 26 USC in context, it means reporting someone, a person, or a business who's cheating out an entity, whether it be taxes, for example, for the IRS. This is formalized under 26 US code. the law that allows the IRS to reward people who provide tips that lead to the collection of unpaid taxes. So there could be a possibility that this whistleblower is blowing their whistle under 26 USC for a potential payday. I'm assuming, keep it alleged, but the example here.
That's crazy. So he could be doing this to bring awareness to someone that, I mean, this is kind of complicated because if you think about it, right? If this whistleblower is doing this, and let's say he's blowing the whistle on behalf of Drake, or let's just say he's blowing the whistle on behalf of him, because he's saying he's playing both sides. Like he said, this could be for a payday or whatever. But if he's blowing the whistle on the behalf of Drake, I don't know if that could be true, because UMG definitely would be the ones that have their ducks in order. I don't think UMG would be out here doing some things and not have their, their ducks covered. I'm sure that they got this company been around for a long time. I'm sure that they got their arrangements right. Now, if he's doing this on behalf of what's the name, saying that he whistleblowing on Drake or whoever not paying their taxes, or his company not paying their taxes, that might be something different. But I don't know. This is kind of interesting. I mean, a little confusing as far as what his motive is, but this is very interesting.
Is that if you report a corporation or a person, and if they're hiding income in an offshore account and the IRS investigates and collects 10 million, as a result, you could potentially earn up to 3 million as a reward. So he's whistleblowing under 26 USC, whistleblowing against UMG and Drake. And if they end up finding something or find anything valuable to whatever he gives them, later on it could result in a payday for them. Allegedly. I ain't passed the bar exam. I'm just reading what I see here. It's all entertainment. Certification of independence. I hereby certify that this brief is submitted entirely independently, without funding, support, or coordination from any party in this case. I am not aligned with the plaintiff, Drake, defendant, UMG, or their counsel, nor do I seek outcome-based involvement. My role is solely as an independent memory holder, filing to preserve systemic truth on behalf of the public and creative communities affected by this matter. He says, in conclusion, for the foregoing reasons, I respectfully ask the court to grant leave to file the attached amicus curiae brief in support of neither party, and to consider it a part of the court's preserved record in this matter. So he's...
Nah. Now that he reads more about this dude looking for a payday. He's looking for a payday. Now that I think about it, he's looking for a payday. All of this points towards him looking for a payday. This dude don't really care about this whole case, because if that was the case, he would have been came out and said all this. He's looking for a payday. Not with the IRS. Maybe he knows that somebody has an offshore account somewhere with some type of money hidden somewhere. Maybe he knows this, or he has some type of speculation or something. But I'm not rolling with this. Nah. I definitely think that that's what it is. He's looking for a payday.
Trying to give some information to the court in regards to the UMG and Drake lawsuit. I don't know what this guy's angle is. I'm not sure if he's looking for some type of payout. From the last page that I read, it seems like he's just trying to come as a person with knowledge and not a person trying to look for a payday. Now, my whole thing is the whistleblower filing under 26 USC. He claims he's just trying to be a person that has all this information, all this data that he wants to present for the court. Doesn't have a dog in the race, just wants to give them the information. You file whistleblowing under 26 USC. Now, to be honest with you, just because somebody does file under 26 USC doesn't mean that they're always looking for a payout, doesn't mean that they're always trying to get paid. Filing under 26 USC doesn't have to be about seeking personal gain or recognition. Sometimes it could just be used to preserve the truth in the formal record. Filing a...
And I understand that, but I also understand people's motives behind it and their position and their timing. So you could file something like that, and just it could be that you're filing because that's the only way you can do it, and just so happens that happens if you file like that, and it still grants you, grants you the type of compensation. But also, if you think about it, how is it that you're doing this now? What's your motive now? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is it now? Like, what are you trying to prove now? I'm thinking that you should have been did this. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is, did he say I'm not seeking any compensation? Because if he said I'm not seeking any compensation, that'd be something different. Or maybe he can't say that. Who knows?
Whistleblower claim creates a permanent official record with the federal agency, even if you expect no reward and seek no change. The act of filing itself preserves memory, legally, institutionally, which is why he says he's a memory holder. If your role is to hold memory, like he had said in the last statement, then it could just mean that you filed under 26 USC to honor your role as a memory holder. Filing can be an act of transferring that memory from personal witness to institutional acknowledgement. Even if the system ignores it for now, you've done your part and it lives beyond you. If there's a chance for a payout, even though this individual might not be looking for one, what are the chances of UMG saying yes to whatever he's trying to give them? And what if they say no because he files under this? Because now I'm thinking, even if that's not his intentions, right? Even if he's just saying, hey, I'm just a memory holder, I'm just trying to give y'all information, I'm not trying to look for a payday, I'm just trying to document this. And this is why I file whistleblowing under 26 USC. But it could go one way or the other. They could just look at it as you just documenting it, or they could look at it as the other way, you seeking a financial reward. Because you filed under 26 USC, and because it's structured that way, it's a law designed around compensation for whistleblowers, but that doesn't define your intent. But that doesn't mean that the court is going to look at it your way. Because the court could just look at it like if you're just looking for a financial reward for helping them. And that
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Also, too, what does this have to do with? I mean, I understand the way he structured it, like transparency as far as seeking out documentation where you know to help out whoever in this situation on both sides. You know what I'm saying? I understand that this whole thing, but I'm more concerned about the timing of it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm more concerned about.
could be a reason why they will deny any assistance from you. I think this is why he gives a statement of purpose. I think this is why he files this the way that he does. And if they let his documentation speak for itself, it might change the outcome of however the court looks at this person, Joe Cat, and the way they're trying to move. So just because the system is built around rewards doesn't mean your intentions get swallowed by it. Filing can still be an act of witness, not profit, even in a reward based system. It could be possible that Joe Cat is just using this as a vessel, using the system as a vessel to preserve memory. However, I'm not sure what he has, I'm not sure what he knows, and I'm not sure if the court is going to look at it the way that he does. I'm not even sure if they're going to allow whatever information he gives them to be used in court either. I think the court is going to move forward depending on how they feel about this guy, Joe Cat, whether they feel like he's being genuine or not, whether he's doing this just to help them or if he's doing this for a payday. I think the court is going to move forward depending on how they feel about Joe Cat and his intentions. If they think that he's being genuine with what he's saying and how he worded his documentation, there might be a chance they might look into what it is that he had sent them. If all else fails, they might just tell him no, and we'll never see what information he was trying to give them, anyways. If that's the case, and they do tell him no, I think that he should just release that information to the public regardless. If it's information that he's received publicly and was able to get online, he should just post that information publicly for everybody to see. I guess that's why I don't know if he's being genuine or not, because if you had this information, you should just put it out there. But I guess if you're trying to do it the right way, you file so that way it could be documented. But who knows how the court is going to act? Who knows how they feel about Joe Cat interfering? But who knows? There could be a chance that they say yes and they accept whatever information he gives them. And however that shifts the issue, however it shifts the argument that's going on between UMG and Drake, we'll have to see what they say. But I think it all goes back to the court and wanting to see if they want this guy's help or not. Do you?
I feel the same way. If you got the information, then like I said in the beginning, then why not just release it? I mean, my thing is like if you have this information and you know the information is going to help whatever side you saying that you're not here to. Let's be clear here. There's no such thing as a neutral party in a case like this. You're going to either side more with Drake or you're going to side more with UMG. You can't have it both ways. It's just that's just what it is. I don't see how you could be neutral in this case. What are you going to do? You know what I'm saying? Like some people will say, well, there's some things that Drake and him doing wrong. There's some things that he doing. No, I think it's more in the lines of whatever benefits him, and he might get paid from it. Eventually, he's going to do that. He could say that, but me personally, if he had the information and he can release, if he got it publicly and he can release it publicly, then what's the point of him going to the courts? He could have just released it. That's how I look at it. He, like he said, maybe he wanted to do it the right way. I don't know. Me personally, I think that he could release it and people will see it. So it is what it is. But thank y'all for joining me. I appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace. Bye.